Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha, and in today's episode we will be discussing about the connection between men's Indian cricketing team and the Cyclone Beryl. As India has just now won the T20 World Cup, so it is a great moment as a nation for all of us and a great achievement by the team, because winning a World Cup is a great achievement. As the event was taking place in US and Caribbean islands, so one of the Caribbean island that is named as Barbados, there the match was played. And now after winning the World Cup, India's team was supposed to come back home, but their flight is delayed, and delayed by how many hours and days, that is not finalized, as Hurricane Beryl is the reason. So Hurricane Beryl has started to take place in the Caribbean Sea, and Caribbean Sea, that is the specifically, if I talk about, then Caribbean islands are formed by two group of islands. That first is Greater Antilles and second is Lesser Antilles. So if we talk about Barbados Island, where the match was played, Barbados is in the Lesser Antilles, and specifically if we talk about, then Cyclone Beryl or Hurricane Beryl is taking place in the Lesser Antilles, and that is the reason why the airport is shut down, and because of the high winds that is being blown, the airport is shut down, and that is why the Indian men's cricket team is stranded in the Barbados. So let us first understand the timeline. First we'll be looking at the news, then what is Hurricane Beryl or Cyclone Beryl, then what are hurricanes, different names, and in the end prelims MCQ. Topic is of relevance from GS paper 1, that is geography specifically. So the news talks about Team India stranded in Barbados due to Hurricane Beryl. What are the hurricanes and their types? So when I say cyclone or hurricane, see what happens is that these are natural phenomena first of all, and they are represented by different names in different regions. If a weather phenomena comes in the Arabian Sea or the Bay of Bengal, it is termed as cyclone, and now because it is taking place in the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean, it is named as hurricane. The phenomena or the weather phenomena is same, but the names are different. It is regarded by different names in different parts of the world. So what has happened recently is that the Indian cricket team has been stranded in Barbados due to Hurricane Beryl, and the hurricane has led to the closure of the airport and stalled all flight services indefinitely, because till the time the air which are blowing at a very faster speed, till the time it does not come down or the wind does not slow down, the airport will not function again. So let us know about Hurricane Beryl. So Hurricane Beryl is sustaining winds of around 205 km per hour. So you can think about it that this hurricane is of a very high magnitude. Then this marks the beginning of the Atlantic hurricane season, surging through the Windward Islands, that is the southern part of the Lesser Antilles. So Lesser Antilles is a group of islands, and within the Lesser Antilles also the Windward Island is the majorly affected, and Beryl is the strongest storm to impact the Windward Island since Hurricane Ivan in 2004. So let us look at the location. So look at this map. This is the map of the Lesser Antilles. See, this is Venezuela, and Venezuela is the northern part of the South American continent. So this is the Caribbean Sea, and this is the Lesser Antilles. And if we talk about within the Lesser Antilles, this is the Windward Island area, and if we talk about, this is the location of Barbados, where the Indian team is stranded. So this is Barbados, and if we talk about the Hurricane Beryl, so the affected areas are Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Grenada, and Trinidad and Tobago. And this is specifically the Barbados, and this is the Windward Island, and overall This is the Lesser Antilles. So this was about Hurricane Beryl, but what becomes important for us to know that what are hurricanes? See, when we talk about hurricanes, I am also using the word cyclone because in our side, that is the Bay of Bengal or the Arabian Sea, we call it as cyclone. So let us first understand in brief what is it and how does it take place. So see, what is cyclone? It is a weather phenomena that we know. It is a natural phenomena that also we know. And what are the basic things that are required for a cyclone or a hurricane to take place? That is a huge ocean. So cyclones takes place in Arabian Sea or the Bay of Bengal, and hurricane takes place in the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean. So a huge ocean or a water body is required for its formation. Now what happens is, if we talk about the ocean, so if we talk about the ocean, then ocean, because of the sun rays, it gets warm. Very obvious, it gets warm, the water gets warm. When the water gets warm, water evaporates also, and when water gets warm, the air rises upward. So when the air rises upward, a low pressure is created. This is low pressure. So when the air rises upward, a low pressure is created downward. So that low pressure which is created downward is called the eye of the cyclone or hurricane, and this is the calmest portion of the cyclone or hurricane, and one of the basic and the predominant factor required for a cyclone to take place. Okay, so when the air rises upward, so when it rises upward and the low pressure is created here, so the air which is sideways, it comes to the low pressure zone, and when it comes to the low pressure zone, it comes to the low pressure zone, and then that air also rises upward because the air is warm. So from low pressure to higher pressure, the air rises. So that this process of shifting of air from low pressure to higher pressure becomes continuous, and as a result, when the air rises upward, the air has moisture in it, and when the air has moisture in it and the moisture holding capacity of the air reaches to a certain level, then they also start to form clouds, and the cloud formation is cumulonimbus cloud. So remember that it is the cumulonimbus cloud which takes part during the cyclone formation. So when the clouds are formed, and this continuous process of moving of warm air from low pressure zone to higher pressure zone keeps on taking place, and when it keeps on taking place and the clouds are formed, so the moisture holding capacity of the cloud, when it reaches its saturation point, and so after reaching the saturation point, what happens? That the moisture comes down in the form of precipitation. Then it comes down in the form of precipitation, and that is how the heavy rainfall, and that is how the heavy rainfall takes place, heavy precipitation takes place. And the precondition, or how the cyclone or how the hurricane gets its energy to sustain, is from the ocean, and that is the moisture provided by the ocean to the hurricane. So that is how it moves, and when the hurricane moves in a certain direction, then the wind velocity also takes place, because for a cyclone or for a hurricane to take place, the Coriolis force is also very important and one of the predominant factors. And if we talk about the hurricanes or the cyclones, then one of the regions in India or in the region of the Indian Ocean, one of the factors for the formation of cyclone is also that the temperature needs to be 27 degree and above. So these are the hurricanes, that is warm moist air rises upward, then it creates an area of low pressure below, and this is what is called the eye or the calmest region of the hurricane. Then air from the surrounding areas rushes to fill this place, as I told you. Then eye forms in the center, warm air rises and cools off, the moisture forms the cloud, and the cloud is the cumulonimbus cloud. Then disturbance is fueled by the ocean's heat and the water. And if we talk about the directions, then equator, in the northern direction it is counterclockwise, and in the southern direction it is clockwise. So that is how the formation of hurricanes takes place. Look at this map. See, this is the I, that is the low pressure zone, and the surrounding air comes here, and the air is going up, and then when the air is going up, it cools down and it forms the cloud, and that is the cumulonimbus cloud. And then when the saturation point of the cloud reaches, and the moisture comes down in the form of precipitation. So that is how it takes place. And if we talk about the northern direction, it is counterclockwise, and in the southern direction, that is the southern hemisphere, it is clockwise. So basically what you have to remember is, and the circulation and the circular movement of the wind in the hurricane or the cyclone is because of the Coriolis force. So what you have to remember is that the I is a low pressure zone, cloud formation takes place, that is the cumulonimbus cloud, and that is the Coriolis force is needed, and in the Indian Ocean the temperature needs to be 27 degree and above, and vertical wind speed is also required. Now different regions have different names. So in the China Sea and the Pacific Ocean, it is called typhoons. Caribbean Sea and Atlantic Ocean, it is called hurricanes. Northwestern Australia, it is called willy willies, and then Indian Ocean region, it is called tropical cyclones. So these are the different names. Now in the end, a prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. Consider the following statements with regard to cyclones. So there are two statements given. First, cyclones are rapid inward circulation around a low pressure area, and second, air circulates in an anti-clockwise direction in the northern hemisphere and clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere. You have to talk about the correct statement, and the codes given are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So give me the answer in the comment section, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading, keep writing, and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.